Well, the sun's out, so this is exciting. Thank you all for coming today. We're honored to be here today to celebrate Frederick County agriculture. So today we're at the Guyton Farm, which is a 210-acre property right here in the town of Burkittsville. And this farm was permanently preserved in 2009 as a part of the Rural Legacy Program by Mr. Wayne Guyton, and today it's owned by South Mountain Creamery. So today marks an exciting step forward in celebrating and protecting what makes our county unique: our farmland, our farmers, and our agricultural legacy. We are proud to unveil a program that strengthens our connections between farmers and our community while supporting the local agricultural industry. Here in Frederick County, agriculture is fueling our economy and feeding our community each and every day. As a leading industry, it generates over $1.14 billion in economic impact and represents more than 55% of our land mass. We are proud to continue to support our community and supporting a diverse agricultural industry, from row crops to vegetables to dairy operations to value-added agriculture, all of which play a critical role in fueling our economy. I'd like to thank our team that's with us here today. If you want to raise your hand when I call on you. Shannon O'Neill, who runs our Ag Preservation Program. Beth Ahalt, Ag Preservation Specialist. Jenna Zimmerman, Ag Preservation Specialist. Cassie Fitzpatrick, our Administrative Coordinator. Mia McGuffin, who you may not have met before, she's our intern. She's a student at FCC. And then Becca Tucker, who's not with us today, but we are ready for her to come back in a few weeks. I'd like to now welcome County Executive Jessica Fitzwater to say a few words. During her administration, she's been a tremendous supporter of agriculture, creating the Office of Agriculture and increasing our goal for land preservation to 160,000 acres. So we greatly appreciate your continued support.
Thank you so much, Katie, and good morning, everyone. It's a gorgeous day to be in beautiful Burkittsville. I'm so glad the sun is out. I know we had a few little pitters of rain there, but I really want to thank you, Katie, for bringing us together this morning. And I'm very proud that we're standing here in the Mid-Maryland Rural Legacy area and Priority Preservation area. And the Guyton Farm is just one of many fantastic examples of how preservation can not only exist within municipalities, but also enhance them, preserving the charm and character of historic Burkittsville, which you can all see just by looking around where we are right now. This farm is part of the county's largest contiguous block of preserved land, totaling over 11,000 acres, which I'm going to clap for because that is truly something to be proud of. Our county, oh good Lord. Our county has long been a leader in farmland preservation, as most of you know, and we are just shy of 78,000 acres permanently preserved, and we're committed to reaching our enhanced goal that you just heard Katie mention of preserving 160,000 acres by 2051. And this is because we know that protecting farmland means protecting our heritage, a key economic engine for our community, and a reliable source of locally produced food. So today we're honored to unveil, which we had a little, unveiling already, but we're honored to unveil the Forever Farmland Signage Program. This is a symbol of our long-term commitment to preserving the land that sustains us, land that continues to fuel our economy and feed our community. Each sign placed on a permanently preserved property tells a story: that this land is protected, that it will remain farmland, and that it will continue to produce food, support jobs, and contribute to our local economy. Throughout the county, these signs will help raise public awareness about the importance of agricultural preservation and remind residents and visitors alike that farming is not just part of our rich history, but a vital part of our present and our bright future. By recognizing these properties, we are also recognizing the farmers and landowners who made the commitment to preservation, ensuring their land remains productive and viable. The Forever Farmland Signage Program is a promise to honor our roots, support our farmers, fuel our economy, and ensure we can continue feeding our community for generations to come. I want to thank all the partners, staff, and landowners who helped make this program possible, many of who are here and many who will be participating as this program continues to grow. I also want to thank my colleagues on the County Council who are here. We have Council President Brad Young here, as well as Council members Renee Knapp and Jerry Donald. We're in Jerry's district. The Council has been extremely supportive of our ag preservation efforts for many, many years. So I want to thank them for their partnership on this. We also have Andrew Burgoyne, who is home right now, but also here representing Senator Karen Lewis Young. And we're really lucky that we do have partnerships up and down levels of government who recognize that preserving our ag land is critically important for not just the state of Maryland, but for Frederick County, of course, as well. Our Office of Agriculture, as Katie mentioned, was established only a couple years ago, but it's days like today that show us how they have truly hit the ground running. So thank you, Katie, and the entire Office of Ag team for your leadership and your steadfast support of this program and of our agricultural community every day. Together, we're ensuring that our farmland remains forever farmland. And with the Forever Farmland Sign program, we're committed to telling that story throughout the county. So thank you all for joining us for this special day.
Thank you, County Executive Fitzwater. Now I'd like to call up another partner, Deputy Secretary Steve Conley, a long-term advocate for Maryland agriculture, and it really does take partnerships to preserve farmland, and we appreciate the partnership with Maryland Department of Agriculture and the Department of Natural Resources. So thank you for being here.
Thanks, Katie. You know, I almost don't need to say anything because I think you've covered everything about how important ag land preservation is to a community like Frederick County. You know, as a partner, the Maryland Department of Agriculture has a program through the Maryland Ag Land Preservation Program. We call it MALF. We use the acronym. But we partner with counties to help preserve productive agricultural land. In Frederick County, there's about a little over 28,000 acres that are under permanent easements through the Maryland Ag Land Preservation Program. Also, there's programs at the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, such as Rural Legacy, which I believe this farm is preserved under that program. That helps the landowners to be able to keep that farm from all the competition from a lot of other uses, whether it's residential or commercial or, and frankly, right now, solar. And there's just a lot of pressure on farmland right now to be taken out of production and used for another purpose. And you don't want to lose that because it's our future and being able to be self-sufficient and helping feed ourselves. The goals of Frederick County are very laudable. 160,000 acres preserved by 2051. You're almost halfway there. The Maryland Ag Land Preservation Foundation looks forward to continuing to help preserve land here in Frederick County. I'm sure the Rural Legacy Program it wants to do that, but I think it's important that we continue to be strong partners and advocates for saving working lands here in the state of Maryland. So thanks for having me.
Next up, I'd like to call South Mountain Creamery, Ben Sowers, as a representative of that family. So South Mountain Creamery is owned by the Sowers and Brusco family, and together they farm over 3,300 acres and home to more than 500 dairy cows, 100 beef cows, and about 16,000 chickens. So families flock to their farm store, farmers market, and even to the grocery store to purchase their product. And they're truly dedicated to keeping the agricultural legacy alive within their family and within the community. They own nearly 2,300 acres of land that is preserved through the Rural Legacy Program, the Maryland Ag Land Preservation Foundation, and federally funded easements. Figured that was easier to wait. Their commitment ensures that this land will continue producing food, supporting jobs, and strengthening our local economy for years to come. So we'd like to thank the whole Sowers and Brusco family for allowing us to be here today and to place the first sign on your property. And I'd like to call Ben forward to say a few words.
Good afternoon, And thank you, the Frederick County Office of Ag and the County Executive's Office and MDA. Appreciate it. My name is Ben Sowers. I'm the second generation on our family farm, and I'm in partners with my sister Abby, brother-in-law Tony, and my wife Kate. And then we have our children. There's six of our children, third generation. Sophia's here. Jeremiah and Samuel's here. So they're all here working with us too. We're right in the middle of spring harvest, so I came straight from the field. This is the best suit you're going to get me in this time of year. And that's really what today is about, stewardship. For our family, this land is not just an asset, it's not just acreage, it's a legacy that was entrusted to us. Randy and Karen, my parents right there, built this farm with a long-term vision. They didn't build it for what the land could become in terms of development. They built it for what could continue to be productive farmland, supporting agriculture and sustaining the way of life for generations. As a second generation, the four of us, Tony, Abby, Kate, and myself, have been entrusted with carrying that forward. And one of the most important tools we have to honor that responsibility is land preservation. Today, across South Mountain Creamery Real Estate Holdings, we have about 2,200 acres permanently preserved. That means this land will never be developed. It's always going to be in farmland. That matters to us here. So because it aligns the land with the mission our parents started, ensures that we don't become the generation that breaks that chain. It also allows us to think differently. We're not making decisions based on short-term pressures or alternative uses of the land. We're making decisions based on how to improve it for the next generation. And that connects directly to what we've built as a business. At South Mountain Creamery, the land, the farm, and the creamery are all connected. The land supports the farm supports the animals and the crops, and the farm in turn supplies the creamery. Without the land, there's no farm, and without the farm, there's no creamery. And without the creamery, the farm loses the stability and value that allows it to continue. They are not separate operations to us. They are one integrated system rooted in this land. And that system doesn't just support our family, it supports a whole team of people who show up every day to work. From the employees working the land and caring for the animals, to the team in the creamery processing and delivering products, to everyone beyond the scenes keeping the operation running, this land supports their livelihoods as well. Permanent preservation strengthens that system. It gives us confidence to invest long-term in soil health and conservation practices and infrastructure, and in producing food responsibly for our families we serve. It also ensures that agriculture remains a living, working part of Frederick County, not something that fades away over time. And that's why today matters. This sign being unveiled is more than just a marker. It represents a commitment, one that extends far beyond any one of us standing here today. A commitment that this land will continue to feed people, that it will continue to support families, and it will remain part of this community permanently. We're grateful for Frederick County for being a partner in that commitment, and we recognize the importance of preserving farmland at this scale. For our family, preservation is how we honor what Randy and Karen built, and how we make sure that what we were entrusted is protected, strengthened, and passed on.
Thank you for those words, Ben. And now I'd like to invite the county executive up to help us officially unveil the sign.